CTV's Washington Bureau Chief Joy Malbon is standing by outside the federal courthouse in Miami with more for us this morning. Joy, good morning to you. First of all, set the scene. What are you seeing? What are you hearing there in Miami?
I don't know if you can hear this or not, or if Johnny can just kind of pan over a bit. There's a smattering of protesters. There's a smattering of protesters here outside of Miami for Donald Trump. Certainly, you know, Florida is Trump country. He won this state twice. But I can't stress to you what an extraordinary moment this is. It really feels heavy here. I mean, never before in the history of the United States has a former president been indicted by a grand jury charged with illegally taking classified documents, things like nuclear programs, and then hiding them from the FBI. These are extraordinary charges, and Donald Trump is expected to arrive here. He's expected to surrender voluntarily. He will be digitally fingerprinted. He will have a photo taken, but it's not a mugshot. It won't be, sent around, that sort of thing. He won't be in handcuffs. And it's very likely, Marcia, we won't see him at all because, of course, then he heads off to his Bedminster Golf Club in New Jersey, where he's expected to talk to guests tonight.
Right, and I think that's a key point. We won't see him because I understand he's going to be entering through the underground garage. There is a secure entrance for him. Joy, there is so much concern about security at the courthouse, and I do want to get back to the details of the Trump case, but there are real concerns that things could get ugly, that it could turn violent later today. What are you hearing from authorities about how they are bracing for that, how they're preparing for that?
Well, police say, look, we've got it under control. We are confident we can handle as many as 5,000 to 50,000 protesters. But when you look around here, I see a lot of yellow tape. I don't see those steel barricades that we saw back in New York when Trump was appearing in court on that hush money payment case. It seems more laid back. But then, you know, some folks here say this is Miami. And again, this is Trump country. But police, I saw a lot more sniffer dogs. I see a lot more patrol cars. And look, so far, you know, we've just seen a smattering. I'm just guessing there's about 12 Trump protesters here today. They came to speak to the media. In fact, there's more media than security. But then again, it's not what you see that Miami police are saying will protect people today.
Right. Don't know how much good that tape's going to do. But anyway, okay. So in terms of the charges, they're very serious. And Trump is expected to plead not guilty. He is going to be speaking tonight. Tell us more about that, and what do you think we might hear from him?
I'm guessing here that it's the same playbook that Donald Trump uses as in the case, in the New York case, when he was, pled not guilty to falsifying business records over those hush money payments to an adult film star. Those were state charges, but these are federal charges. I suspect he will tell his guests that he is a victim of political persecution, that this is, they've been out to get him, his usual mantra of witch hunt, hoax. This is terrible. And Trump supporters, you know what? They don't care. They have actually said that even if he's convicted, they'll vote for him anyway. There is such, support for Donald Trump. In fact, his polls have gone up among many Republicans. He's leading Ron DeSantis, his closest rival, by about 2/3. It's just extraordinary, and it's what happened last time. But we're starting to hear little noises here from some Republican rivals. People like Chris Christie, a former prosecutor, says, look, this is serious stuff. His former Attorney General, Bill Barr, on the weekend, again saying, look, even if half of what this indictment says is true, he's toast. Those are his words, and these are Republicans. So there is some concern that if Republicans, fall behind Donald Trump like they've done before, they will be, as Chris Christie said, a 3-time loser.
Joy Malbon for us in Miami.